No question, we've all really missed out on a lot of major community events as we face COVID over the last year and a half and continue to do so. Remember the early weeks and months of COVID? It seemed like everything in town was either canceled or postponed. And while some things have opened up more recently, like major events with large crowds, are still facing issues in terms of how to do a big event with lots of people and how to do it safely. That includes the major Basque festival, Jaialdi, an event that was supposed to be held back in the summer of 2020. In 1987, Jaialdi was originally intended as a one-off cultural festival here in Boise, but then Governor Cecil Andrus asked the Boise Basque community to hold another one 3 years later in 1990 to celebrate the state's 100th anniversary. After the success of that event, it was decided Jaialdi should be held every 5 years. Well, Joe Paris spoke with event organizers about the new plans heading into the future and the ramifications of having to cancel the event twice already.
Every 5 years, Basque culture takes center stage in the City of Trees. COVID, though, has complicated the calendar.
It's been a 2-year saga now at this point.
Julie Hahn is the marketing director for Jaialdi. She unfortunately has this news to share.
After trying to postpone a couple of times our original festival of Jaialdi 2020, first to Jaialdi 2021, then to Jaialdi 2022, we're now canceling. And so we will be jumping ahead to Jaialdi 2025.
The move puts Jaialdi back on the traditional 5-year rotation for the worldwide Basque Celebration hosted right here in Boise. It's not because of a lack of effort, though. Event organizers say they did their best to make the beloved event happen to its fullest.
We really tried hard to make this happen. Jaialdi is an entirely volunteer effort. We don't have any paid staffers. So this was a true labor of love to move the festival twice. But it just got to the point where we couldn't in good conscience hold it next year.
The deciding factor in that decision is simply COVID concerns. Jaialdi draws thousands of people from around the world to Boise, something tricky to do safely during a pandemic.
You have everybody from little tiny kids all the way up to, elderly amumas or grandmothers who are coming and having the festival with us. So it really just became about making sure that everybody could celebrate safely.
Organizers know it's disappointing for those so looking forward to the event, but they didn't want to ask everyone to, again, reschedule their flights, hotels, and other accommodations.
It is difficult with the restrictions. And like you're seeing in Europe, certain countries are starting to lock down again. They have an increase in cases. And the fact of the matter is the whole situation is just so volatile that it became too much to ask people to reschedule everything yet again.
Celebrating is at the core of Jaialdi, and event organizers didn't want COVID to hamper the excitement and full experience of the Jubilee.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Basque people love to have a big party. The more the merrier. So we really didn't want to have something that wouldn't be open to everybody.
Jaialdi organizers say they want to make it clear. Jaialdi is not canceled forever. An encouraging note for the Basque community since COVID hit has been the support from the Basque community and beyond.
The support from people as we have gone through this process has been really overwhelming. And I think the silver lining for us is that it shows just how committed people are to preserving and to protecting and to celebrating Basque culture and Basque American culture. And that's really hopeful for us.
Yeah, it's really helpful because it will happen again. It's going to happen in 2 years in 2025. But Brian, it's interesting to note, it'll end up being 10 years since the last Jaialdi festival in 2015. And of course, a lot has changed here in Boise over the last decade or 8 years. But it'll be interesting to see what 2025 looks like. And as we get closer to that, they're going to put a lot of information on Jaialdi's website, jaialdi.com. And we also have all that linked in our story at ktvb.com. But Brian, I know there are people that are very disappointed. They had booked flights and they booked hotels. The advice from the Jaialdi organizers is to reach out to your airfare provider or where you booked your hotel and kind of work with them to get the refund now that we know Jaialdi is pushed till 2025.
And we haven't even been able to have the annual Basque Festival, which is like a smaller version of Jaialdi every year because of the pandemic.
Right.
So if you're new to the area and haven't been to the Basque Block during the summer to experience even just a Basque Festival, much less Jaialdi, you're in for a treat if you can stick around until 2025.
Yes, it's worth at least the croquetas, which I was reminded today you can get outside of the Basque Festival. So go get a croqueta downtown.
And don't forget the calimochos and the slow-mo sandwiches, all that stuff, and of course the dancing and the fanfare that goes with it.
Brian's a good dancer.
It is a good time.
We'll see you in 2025.
All right, thanks, Joe. All right, it's most